Good evening and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Medford Community Development Board. I'll call the meeting to order. Let's begin with some obligatory procedural matters. This hearing of the Medford Community Development Board is being conducted via remote means. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. A reminder that anyone who would like to listen to or view this meeting while in progress may do so by accessing the link that was included in the meeting agenda posted on the City of Medford's website. If despite our best efforts, we are not able to provide real-time access, we will post a recording of this meeting on the city's website as soon as possible. A reminder that given the remote nature of this meeting, tonight all votes from the board will be made by roll call. Please note that the project materials for all projects before the board can be viewed on the city's website, medfordma.org, and you can click on current city board filings. You can also find a link in the chat. For starters, we want to offer a warm welcome to Ben Laverly, who is our new associate alternate member and can fully participate in meetings and deliberations. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be part of this. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure having you. Thank you for joining us. Just to note, as an associate member, Ben is eligible to vote when there are fewer than 7 members present and eligible to vote. Again, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to working with you. I'm going to do a roll call attendance. Vice Chair Emily Hederman.
Present.
Peter Cowles.
Present.
Ari Fishman.
Present.
Sabrina Alpino.
Present.
Adam Behrens. No, Adam. Annie Strain.
Present.
Ben Laverly.
Present. Minor pronunciation correction. It's LaValle.
LaValle. Ben LaValle. Thank you.
Yeah.
And myself, Jackie McPherson. Danielle, can you introduce any staff on the call?
Yes, as myself, Danielle Evans, Senior Planner, along with Alicia Hunt, who's the Director of Planning, Development, Sustainability. And I believe that is all of us tonight. My graduate student intern now has a conflict with class, so he won't be joining us on evenings. He has class. He'll be watching them. I think he'll still be doing the minutes, so after the fact.
Our first item is approval not required for review, 7 Grant Ave. I'm going to invite the proponent to present their plans for the lot division. But first, if the city can actually set us up with this, and then the proponent can go ahead and continue.
Yes, so this is, we've had several of these lately. It's an approval not required under subdivision control law, which basically says if the lot division meets the criteria to be divided, then the community development board, acting as the planning board, is required to endorse it. And that's the questions you have to ask is, does it front on a right of way? Does it satisfy the minimum frontage? In this case, it's 35 feet. And is there adequacy of access? So those are the criteria in which to review this. One thing to note is that the second lot to be created will actually be undersized, but that does not that is not a reason to not endorse it. Strangely enough, so this will be going to the zoning board for a variance for minimum lot size if they choose to develop that second parcel.
So approval not required as reviewed by the board. We are to make sure that it meets certain criteria, in which one of the criteria it does not meet as of yet. Is that my correct understanding?
No, I believe that it clearly meets the first two. The third one is the only one that's subjective, and I don't see why it's not met. It doesn't have access adequate
If-
access
if-
from the right of way.
Yeah. If I understand, it's that it meets all of our criteria, but it needs a zoning variance to do something else with it along the line, but it meets all the criteria for the A&R.
Yeah, so endorsement isn't basically, an endorsement doesn't give them a variance. An endorsement doesn't say that this meets zoning now. It's a oddity of Massachusetts subdivision law since we adopted it and didn't opt out. Still want to look into how we can opt out so that we can just have these done by the planning director signing off. Neither here nor there. So Attorney Cabral is here. Attorney Cabral, do you wish to share your screen, or do you wish I could share my screen?
That would be fine. If you want to share your screen.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm Attorney Michael Cabral on behalf of the applicant and homeowners Michael and Elaine Horahan, 7 Grant Ave. She'll see here in a second. They have a pre-existing lot that they are dividing in 2.
Can folks see this?
So total lot area right now, the existing lot is 9,500. They're splitting the lot in 2. Lot 1 is on the left side of our screen. Lot 2 is on the right-hand side of the screen. Lot 1 would be a conforming lot in that it's 5,000 square feet and meets the minimum frontage of 35 feet. It has 50 feet. The new lot, the lot in question for A&R approval, is Lot 2 on the right-hand side here. It has 4,500 square feet of lot area. It does meet the minimum frontage. It has 45 feet of frontage. Additionally, it's located on Grant Ave, which is a public way, so satisfies both frontage and I would argue adequacy of way. Grant Ave is, again, a public way and currently paved, so suitable for vehicular travel as the law requires. Also, as mentioned here, and above Danielle, it does actually, some surveyors used to put on the zoning criteria, some did not. Boards were welcome to put on that it was not, quote, a buildable lot until it met zoning requirements. This has actually already been laid out on a table at the top of this plan, which does show, as the board mentioned, that if our clients would like to build on Lot 2, the lot in question, that it would require approvals from the zoning board for both lot area, the first criteria there. It has 2 asterisks next to it, and lot width as well, short by 6.4 feet on lot width as well. So two issues of nonconformity, but in terms of the issue here this evening of A&R approval, again, we do satisfy minimum frontage, adequacy of the way, and that it's on a public way and paved for vehicular travel. And I'm happy to answer any questions any members of the board might have.
Thank you, Attorney Cabral.
And Madam Chair, through the chair, I just want to flag one more potential zoning violation you might need to address, and that's the proposed parking area that appears to be front yard parking, because if it's in front of the structure. So if that's where the structure ends up going, then that could be an issue.
Thank you. We've noted that as well. This may not be the final location of both the building or the proposed parking. This surveyor does show a 20-foot curb cut, but that may not be where the parking actually goes. It may run down what I would call the side of the new lot, which would have a 20-foot drive aisle as well.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board at this time? Okay, so based on the presentation by Attorney Cabral and Planner Evans has stated that it meets minimum frontage There's adequacy of the right of way. And as of right now, there's vital access to the lots provided for parking. So it meets all of the board's criteria. I will put forth a motion to approve 7 Grant Ave for approval not required. Or to recommend, is it adopt?
Endorse. So you'll endorse the plan as approval not required.
Endorse the plan, 7 Grant Ave as approval not required.
So moved.
A second motion,
I'll second.
I'm gonna do a roll call. Vice Chair Emily Hedman,
Aye.
Peter Kaus,
Aye.
Ari Fishman,
Aye.
Sabrina Alpino,
Aye.
Adam Burns, still not here. Annie Strain,
Aye.
and we have a quorum, so in this case, Ben Lavalley would not be voting, is that correct, Danielle?
No, he can vote.
Okay,
You have a full board can vote, yeah. So he
Aye.
can
Ben Lavalley,
vote of Adam, yeah.
Aye.
and myself,
Thank you.
Jackie McPherson. Thank you so much, Attorney Cabral.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
You as well. Take care.
Thank you.
And I'll have Alicia sign the Mylar before we leave the building, so it'll be available for you to pick up.
Great. Thank you. We have another one right behind this, so I'll pick it up and file another with you. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thanks.
The next item is approval of minutes. And I guess we can just ask for approval of all unless anyone has any objections or any corrections to any of the minutes. I did have one, and it was minor. I believe it was the very first one, and it has like typos or something like, it was an approval not required, it was an original approval not required, and it was supposed to be, it says nor required. Tiny little typos, if the city can actually look over those. And I would give a motion with those typos being corrected.
So it was the June 5th meeting?
I
Or,
believe, sorry, for some reason,
oh, yep, I see it. I'll fix that.
that was the only thing that I caught. Actually, I will go through and ask for a motion for May 5th and May 25th, because at that point, I believe only myself, Vice Chair Hedman, Peter Kaus, and Ari Fishman are eligible to vote on those two. So I would need a motion from either Vice Chair Emily Hedman, Peter Kaus, Ari Fishman. Can't do it
I'll make the
myself.
motion.
Second.
Thank you. And that's for both May 5th and May 25th.
Yep.
And I guess I'll do a roll call for ourselves. Vice Chair Emily Hedman,
Aye.
Peter Kaus,
He's muted.
Aye. Sorry, missed the button.
and Ari Fishman,
Aye.
and myself, Jackie McPherson. And then I will ask for a motion for July 17, 2024, which myself, Vice Chair Emily Hedman, Sabrina Alpino, Peter Kaus, and Ari Fishman are eligible to vote. And I would ask for
Both those sets of meetings have the same,
actually,
both
yes,
eligible.
this would be July 17th and August 7th of 2024. And I would need a
So
motion. Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
second.
Second. Oh, Emily can have it.
A lot of competition today.
Vice Chair Emily Hedman,
Aye.
Sabrina Alpino,
Aye.
Peter Kaus,
Aye.
Ari Fishman,
Aye.
and myself, Jackie McPherson. And the third item on our list this evening zoning overhaul updates are, Alicia, Danielle, do you have any updates for us?
So we don't really have any updates. I will just tell you that we have been working through things like a green score for the city and design. We haven't looked at design requirements, but we've looked at incentive zoning, right? So like this would be, you're allowed to do this much density. And if you do additional affordable housing, you can get more density, stuff like that. So we're working through those. One of the questions that came from the consultant was, should design guidelines be part of zoning or something that's adopted by the CD board? And my recommendation is that that's adopted by the CD board. But I asked them if, because they were going to kind of go hand in hand with the new zoning, if they could present both of them at the same time so that they would actually come to this board and the city council together at the same time. Here's what we're recommending for design guidelines, and here's what we're recommending for the zoning. Design guidelines would be adopted by this board, but the zoning would be recommended by this board and adopted by the council. So we were sort of pushing those through together. That gives us more flexibility in design guidelines, so it doesn't have to go through a full zoning process if things change and we want to have that changed. So those, we are expecting drafts of those to be coming in September. And I actually will tell you that I just received, I had mentioned wanting to get files up on the website. I just got most of those from the zoning consultant today. So I'm hoping over the next few days to get those. I think we're talking about needing a web page to put this. Although we do have a page from the Medford Comprehensive Plan that I'm thinking maybe we should then just actually update that to include this stuff that's coming through the zoning. And I'd like to include links to the zoning meetings we've been having. So just wanted to tell you guys that stuff was there. And if anybody has any questions or anything that has come up since the last time we were talking about stuff, I'm happy to answer questions. But that's really all I have this evening.
The design guidelines, how would those be construed? Will we be working with a consultant, or is that something done internally? How does that work? Because I know we started this process a couple of years back when we did the zoning recodification, and we didn't pick up on it. So I'm trying to figure out how it would be moved forward this time.
In this case, the zoning consultant is prepared to provide us with recommended guidelines specifically for Medford, which was actually kind of the problem with the recodification, that consultant was giving us like, here's like a straw man, a stick man kind of thing. Now you guys make it Medford specific. These consultants have been hired because they did our comprehensive plan. They have talked to Medford residents and developers, and they're prepared to say, here's what we think would work in Medford. So they're prepared to actually, my hope is that by the time you guys get it, you'll just want little tweaks. But you'll look at it and go, wow, this was done by somebody who understands our city. As opposed to saying like, oh my gosh, now we have a lot of work in front of us. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Alicia. I'm going to ask for a motion, so if there's nothing else, if the board has no questions, new members, anyone you want, this is your open time before we actually ask for a motion to adjourn. Do you have any questions?
Nope, just taking it in and getting comfortable with how the meetings go. So thank you.
Awesome.
I feel like it's the calm before storm.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
As someone who works on the consulting side of some of these projects, we're starting to get the storm on our end. So a couple of months.
Yeah.
The number of traffic count requests I sent out today.
Oh.
Because we're ready for more development. Now that we've opened the Great American Beer Hall, we're ready.
Is it open?
It's open. It's amazing. It was at capacity all day on Saturday from noon through like closing. There was a line almost all the time, and they were letting people in as people left.
Yeah, I swung
Wow.
by on Saturday. I was gonna come in and then I just scratched that. I was like, yeah, it's too packed.
I would love to I don't drink beer. That's not a reason just to go and see, hang out and have a great time, right? So patronize my for.
They have wine and cider too.
Oh,
They do. So they are
And a full
definitely.
bar. Yep, they have a full bar, mixed drinks.
okay. All right.
Not
So-
like the other place in West Medford, near the train station. This place has everything.
No, I will say it is lovely. They are operating under a temp operating permit because there are a few things they still need to complete for the city. The road in front, DOT, they're still making some DOT stormwater connections. And there's still, the elevator, there's a lift to the second floor that hasn't arrived. So the second floor is closed. They do not have occupancy permit for the second floor. And like, they don't have their, railing around the balcony of the deck. So you can't go on the second floor and you can't use the deck yet. That stuff is coming. They're still expanding their menu for the food. But I want to pass along something. So Brian, you will remember, was here a couple of times. And one of the things he said to me on Saturday was, you know what, Alicia, I did not want to put in bike parking and you made me do it. And you were right. Look at how full that bike parking is. So just passing along that was a community development board thing, was to put in the bike parking.
That's
So
great.
he's very happy. And in fact, he's getting pressure to put in more bike parking because it was so full. We'll see if it continues to stay full. So
Do they have EV stations?
do they have EV? No. But he's putting solar on the building. We required a solar assessment, and that was the proposal he got was so favorable to him that he is actually not only putting solar on this building, but they own property down near Patriots Place, and he's looking to put solar, like a solar farm there, and then make his properties up here the off-takers for it. So I thought that was pretty cool. But he sent me the interconnection agreement to National Grid. So like the paperwork that he needs to do with the utility to put solar on. So I know he's serious.
I'm hoping he'll put EV in so that he
Not
puts
required.
good foot forward on that.
Right. I think we did not because this project was a real shoestring. Actually, if you might remember that I came to the board, I talked to his banker and then I came to the board and said, I talked with her. She was at his soft opening Thursday night and I got to meet her in person. And she said she was like, it was a really good experience. And she was glad that she had talked to me about that project. So she was lovely.
I'm hoping in the future for the next phase of improvements that he puts in EV. It's just really important to the community.
Yes. The BJ's, we asked for EV in addition with the gas station. And then I don't think this board required it. But then when he went to city council, they said they were doing it. And they have 4 stations that have gone in. I haven't gone over. They're not open yet. They're still fenced off. But from my experience, they look like high speed stations. Like they don't look like your basic little level 2 stations. So I'm curious to see what goes in at BJ's.
Was Great American Beer Hall, did they come in before the specialized stretch code? Is that why they don't?
Long before it. That only kicked in this summer.
Okay, so that's how, because now you have to have at least EV ready spaces now. Yeah, they got them just before.
And that project was on such a shoestring to get in there that we did not require it of that one.
Just a note that board member Adam Behrens have joined us, and thank you so much for joining us, Adam. Adam, I want to let you know that we have another new board member that joined us this evening, Ben Lavalley.
Hey, Ben, welcome.
Hey, Adam. Look forward to working with you.
And with that, actually, oh, and one other thing, Adam, there was a note that Alicia and Danielle had suggested that we all send our cell phones to them so that they can compile it in case we're running late or anything, and they'll know that they'll reach out and see if we're coming to the meeting or whatever, so that they actually have that and we're not waiting going forward.
Perfect.
And it's not so much just not because of your tonight, just to have it overall, because sometimes we don't even know who's waiting in the waiting room if it's a phone number, so we try to match it.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah. But it's a really short meeting, so I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn. If there's,
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Awesome, and then I'm going to do a roll call as soon as my document of names opens back up. Actually, I think I have it memorized. Vice
Yeah,
Chair
come on,
Emily
Jackie, you got it.
Vice Chair
Aye.
Emily Hartman. Peter Cows,
Aye.
Ari Fishman,
Aye.
Sabrina Alpino,
Aye.
Ben Lavalley,
Aye.
Adam Behrens,
Aye.
Annie Strang,
Aye.
and myself, Jackie McPherson. I believe I got everyone.
Nice job.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.